Looking forward to August. As August is the most pulpiest time of the year, as it is GarbAugust. And the Paperback Fanatic is a great way to start August. I know it's not August yet, but I can't wait. So I started to read in advance, and the whole of the month of July I will be recommending novels and pulp magazines and that are being published now, as and there are still being pulp magazines published. Hi, I'm Annie, and GarbAugust is a fun reading event that is hosted by Ollie over at Criminally, and it has a bunch of co-hosts. And this is all about the reading of pulp fiction and non-fiction. Pulpy, trashy, of course, but such fun to read. And we are definitely not looking down on these entertaining pulp novels and pulp magazines. If you don't know what to read for GarbAugust, I can highly recommend you pick up an issue of the Paperback Fanatic. For this review, I read issue 48, and I found it highly entertaining and very informative. For this magazine is all about collecting vintage paperbacks and pulp magazines, but it has also a lot of pulp novel and pulp magazine recommendations in it. In this issue, you can find articles about shark exploration in Australian paperbacks, the Panther crime band novels, the Dawn novels, all about horror giant John Ferris, the vampire police procedural. I never knew there was such a thing. Men's Adventure Quarterly. I'm not a man, but I am highly interested in that. Naval Adventure paperbacks. Ollie over at Criminally mentioned this as an alternative, the British alternative to the Western novels, to what the Western novels, pulp novels and magazines were back in the United States. But there is much more that can be found in this issue. There are a lot of nice scans of book covers in this issue as well, next to interesting articles and interviews. And the layout is very reader friendly. As a graphic designer, I approve of this layout. There are also a couple of pages with horror for kids. So if you have underage kids who like horror, you might like to pick this issue up. There is a very interesting interview with Steve Holland in it about his book Beyond the Void, and this is about the history of Badger books. And there are also covers of his favorite Badger book publications in it as well, with descriptions in it as well. And there is an interesting article about cult Australian pulp publishing house Horowitz. And I'm always surprised by the fact that these pulpy novels that weren't very good and hurriedly published are now so being sought after that it always amazes me. But for the collector and for someone who is interested in the curiosities in the publishing industries, this is a very interesting interview, and these are very interesting articles. I don't know if I can say this, but I think I saw a video on Jules Bird's channel where somebody mentioned that probably the pulp novels and magazines are probably going to become cheaper in the near future, as most of the collectors collected these pulp magazines and pulp novels out of nostalgia. And let's be honest, these are old people now. And let's be realistic, and these people die, and these collections are going to become available on the open market. And as there are more books available and pulps available on the market, well, prices are obviously going to drop. Of course, that doesn't mean that the highly collectible and rare items rare books are going to drop in price. But I think I agree with him on that point. Another tip I can give you when you buy pulp novels or novels in general, there are a lot of, like I said, a lot of recommendations in this issue, and of course I had to look some of these recommended books up on the internet, as I found them highly interesting. I found them interesting, and not only the covers looked very interesting, but the description of the story also looked interesting, and the titles looked interesting as well. So there is one novel, a pulp novel, that is mentioned in this Paperback Fanatic, and that is Where Were You Last Pluter Day. And I found this an intriguing title, and the cover also looked very intriguing, and the description of the story looked interesting to me. So I looked it up on the internet, and well, my heart sank. It is $78 for a paperback and $100 for a mass market paperback. And this was a little bit steep for me, but as the writer was Dutch and I speak Dutch, I went on a Dutch secondhand website, a book website, and I found the Dutch edition, which has an absolutely boring title and an absolutely boring cover. But it was under 10 euros including postage. So that was really a bargain, I found. But I can read it now. This is of course not a collectible item, but I buy books so I can read them. Will I be able to read all my books? Probably not, as I'm also a collector, but I intend to read this anyway. I don't know if I will read it for GarbAugust, probably not, because it is recent, and I am intending to divide my reading up in a pulp project, a long ongoing pulp project. I will be starting in August in reading all kinds of Pulp's short stories, novelettes, novellas, and maybe even novels, I don't know, from when Pulp magazines started. So that goes back to 1890, when the first Pulp magazines were being published. And the first Pulp magazine was simply called Short Stories Magazine. So I'm interested, and I will be continuing this project even when August is over, but because I'm a slow reader and I can't manage that many even short stories in 1 month. But I'm highly looking forward to reading all of those vintage pulps. But coming back to the Paperback Fanatic, let's see if I can. Oh, there is also. I wanted to go, but I found out very late. The Pulp and Paperback Fair. So, when I have saved up more money, I intend to go to London. London is an expensive city, you may know, but one of these days I will go to the Pulp and Paperback Fair, and there is a large article about it with other booktubers in it as well. Among others, the Outlaw Bookseller. I like his channel very, very much. He has a great knowledge of books, and I like to. He's a pleasant way of talking about them, so I can highly recommend his channel, and Jules Bird's channel as well. He's also in this issue of Paperback Fanatic. I'm thinking, I don't know if this is correct, but maybe isn't Jules Bird the instigator, the creator of this magazine? I saw this magazine featured on his channel. So correct me if I am wrong, I don't know. But it is really, really an excellent, there are a lot of great covers. This is the Naval Pulp Pocket article, which has a lot of nice covers. And there is an article about James Bond, pulp novels, I think novelizations. Novelizations. And this is an article about a golden oldie. I think this magazine was published maybe 1940s, 1930s maybe. It's from May. I don't know exactly, but I can highly recommend it. This is the page with the recommendations for horror for kids. So I think this is really an excellent issue. I can highly recommend, if you don't know what to read for GarbAugust, or if you are a collector or are interested in it, I can highly recommend you pick this issue up. Or maybe there is, when I post this video, maybe there is already a new issue being published. So I can highly recommend it. Now, do let me know if you are planning to participate in GarbAugust, and if you have a booktube channel, don't forget tag Ollie, of course, because I know he'd love to see your reviews, GarbAugust reviews. But also tag me, tag other co-host as well, because no doubt all of us would love to see your reviews, your GarbAugust reviews. As always, thanks for watching.